All right, welcome into the DNVR Rockies Podcast. I am your host, Suzie Hunter, and it is a Friday Suze Show extravaganza. Honestly, it's more of a casual Friday today, but we got Tiff producing today.
Hello, my love. How are you?
You know what? I'm a little chaotic today, but like, what else is new?
That last moment was a little chaotic, so I feel
It was a little chaotic. Yeah, we are just having a good old Friday here at the DNVR studios at Colfax and York. You know what? We're going to talk about some Rockies news. And of course, you can't talk about Rockies news without talking about some AAA prospect news. So we're going to check in with Josh Suchon in a little bit with what's going on down there. We're going to get into some baseball headlines that you need to know about today. We've got some, we're going to check on the guys that we said goodbye to this trade deadline because their teams are all doing kind of well. Good for them. And we're going to preview the series in St. Louis because the Rockies are in St. Louis taking on the Cardinals. That game starts in, if you're watching us live, it starts in less than an hour. This is going to be a nice, casual Friday show. But let's get started with some light Rockies headlines. All of the news already happened this week. All of the trade deadline stuff already happened. So things have been a little quiet, but some really good news in terms of excuse me. Some really good news in terms of outfielder depth. Sean Bouchard. Sean Bouchard is out on rehab assignment in High A Spokane. And last night he went 3 for 5. That is some great news. He is recovering from that torn bicep. I'm happy with this timeline. I hope we get to see him up in Colorado at some point, or at the very least in Albuquerque, because that was a shocking injury and it sounded very painful. Speaking of painful, this poor wall. Let's pull up the tweet. So this went viral. Bud Black went viral. I'm assuming Bud Black has no idea he went viral, but a reporter tweeted this staple in the Giants visitors manager office. Bud Black was ejected from a game in April of 2017, threw a Lagunitas bottle into the wall. It stuck into the wall. I don't know how. I don't think you could duplicate this if you tried, but they left it there because it's hilarious and so impressive. You have to leave it there. So of course this went viral because how could it not? How could it not? You couldn't duplicate it if you tried. But yeah, I am going to guess that Buddy has no idea he went viral. Dinger's out and about, even though the Rockies are out of town. So Miles, the Broncos mascot, he had his birthday party. Why does he have his birthday party before the season even starts? Because that's usually like a fun thing that at least like baseball teams do during the season, like have a mascot birthday party. All the mascots in town come out. It's, just like the most fun nonsense around. But Miles, the Broncos mascot, had a birthday party. Dinger's just like sitting on the ground. Is Dinger okay? Dinger's not well here.
Is he maybe still recovering from being tackled?
Oh my gosh. Too soon.
Too soon?
But also, I don't think too soon because I think he's recovered from that. He's probably just tired. We're in the dog days and all these other mascots are just in their off season. Like it's not Rapid Man. Is that his name?
Yeah, I think Rapid. I was gonna say the Rapids guy, but Rapid Man.
Yeah, but they play like once a week.
Yeah.
What a joke.
But like, he's just chilling in the back. Like
Just
he's
chilling.
just like that weird friend that like you had to invite.
He's the weird friend you had to invite. That is, that's amazing. That is incredible. But yeah, I got a kick out of that. Let's talk about some stuff that's going on down in Albuquerque, though. So earlier today, I had a conversation with Josh Suchon, who, of course, we know because he's always on the show, the voice of the Albuquerque Isotopes. But we had such a great conversation, and I want us to listen to that. Tiff, are we ready to roll it? All right, here's Josh. Joining the pod now is Josh Suchon, voice of the Albuquerque Isotopes, and of course, a very good friend of the pod. It's been a minute since you've been on. Josh, how are you? How are your broadcast booth plants doing?
Well, let's see. That one looks like it's pretty good, right? That one's good, looking good. That one's looking pretty good. Yes, I have gotten them on a good watering schedule. They really like the indirect light of this broadcast booth. Thank you for asking and noticing. I'm very proud of them.
I can see that you're very proud of them. Josh, so good to chat with you, though. We should probably talk some Isotopes baseball because you guys have a lot going on down there. Why don't we start that with one of our favorite dudes to talk about? I want to talk about Cole Tucker because apparently he was playing the drums during batting practice. What kind of drums are we talking here?
Okay, so it was about 2 weeks ago, and we were in Sugar Land, Texas, and the Space Cowboys were doing some type of 80s night, and there was a Journey tribute band that was performing after the game. So during batting practice, they were doing basically a sound check, and they were playing, the Journey songs and doing their thing. And at some point, I was taking a lap around the ballpark just because I wanted to sweat, apparently. And so I saw them like jamming. And then at one point, I saw Cole, and he was pretty close to the warning track. I'm pointing out to right center as if you guys can all see this right now. And he was just sitting there, like, kind of nodding his head, kind of, feeling the beat and all that kind of stuff. And then I see that Cole is talking to them. And then the next thing you know, I'm just like, okay, Cole's leaving the field to go into the clubhouse. No, he's leaving the field to go into the stands to walk around to where they were practicing, doing their sound check. And Cole gets on the drums. He starts playing the drums out there. So he's jamming with this Journey tribute band. Someone from the Space Cowboys filmed it, posted video of it on social media. You can find it on the Space Cowboys site. And so, yeah, the world's most interesting man became even more interesting for his ability to play the drums with this Journey tribute band.
That's hysterical. Also, I love the possibilities that this opens up in my imagination. Him and his fiance Vanessa Hudgens can collab musically sometime. I would love that. But on a very real note, Cole Tucker, he's been playing some good baseball too, right? And a little first base.
Yeah, so he played first base each of the last 2 days before the time of this recording. He had never started a game at first base in his entire life. He had only briefly played like one inning in the major leagues. I think first base is really good for him because he's such a social person. He's so outgoing. I feel like that's kind of the job description at first base. Like you have to be good at scooping throws and you need to be good at talking to people, whether it's the base runner, the umpire, the first base coach, fans, things like that. In fact, Cole actually told me that there was a player for Las Vegas and he was engaging him in a conversation. And this is a guy who's known for stealing bases. And he said he almost got him to not run because Cole said he asked him a question and the player said yes as he took off to second base. He still stole the base. So Cole almost got him. But look, Cole has played second, short, center, right field. Now he's playing some first base. At the time of our recording, he has reached base safely in 25 consecutive games. So he continues to just be this fun, charming, drum-playing person who gets on base a lot and can play every position just about except for catcher and hits for some power and is a switch hitter and is just the funnest person to be around.
That is amazing. Okay, also, speaking of stolen bases, it seems like there are some more stolen bases this second half, and that's not an accident, right, Josh?
Yeah, that's correct. And it's been really fun, especially at like the inner 1980s, Josh. It's just like so happy to watch baseball. That reminds me of the 80s because we get guys on base and they're running double steals, hit and runs. Now, sometimes they get picked off and sometimes we run ourselves out of an inning. That's part of what happens when you run. But we had a game a couple of nights ago. We stole 6 bases. And I felt like the only reason why we did not steal 10 bases is because we got such a big lead that it would have been unsportsmanlike conduct to continue running at that point. We've had some series where we didn't steal any, but we've had others where we're stealing 6, 4, 5 bases in a single game. And it's not by accident. It's not a coincidence. From what I was told, that the Rockies organization has wanted to see more aggressive base running. When the second half started, Isotopes manager Pedro Lopez said to the players, go ahead and take more chances. Like, I don't want you to get thrown out, but I'm not going to be mad at you if you get thrown out. And especially the way that baseball is changing. Bigger bases, the 2 disengagement rule. It's a part of baseball now, and the Rockies want to do more of it. And so it's mostly Jimmy Herron and Winton Bernard, but also Cole Tucker has run more. Aaron Schunk has run more. Catcher Willie McIver has run. Connor Kaiser, Hunter Stovall. We just got Jamison Hanna is off the injured list. He can run. We just got Roman Quinn, who had been signed. He's extremely fast. So, Tolley is in the big leagues and Jones is in the big leagues and Montero's in the big leagues and Coco's in the big leagues. So we don't have a whole lot of home run hitters. Now we have a lot of fast guys who run. And my personal opinion, I think about how big the outfield is at Isotopes Park and how big the outfield is at Coors Field. And at least for me, having athleticism, being the most well-conditioned team, I think it really matters when you're playing at altitude and being able to aggressively run the bases and run balls down. I like that it's a team full of athletes and showing off their athleticism.
Yeah, because we also know how running and cardio and all of that so much harder at this elevation that we're at here in Denver and you guys are at there in Albuquerque. Let's also, I want to transition a little bit because obviously we talk a lot about pitching up here in Colorado. Who are the next pitchers that we are going to poach from y'all?
You can't have them. You're not allowed to have them, Suzie. Well, in all seriousness, I don't know who is like technically next in line, who would go up. And usually that's the people who have been in the majors at some point who would go back up. So people like Gavin Hollowell, people like that. I can tell you that the two guys who are fairly new, who a lot of your audience may not know just yet, but they're going to know soon. Two relief pitchers that were at AA, a left-hander by the name of Evan Justice and a right-hander by the name of Michael Peterson. Both of them throw really hard, upper 90s. Peterson's hit 100. They both have really good sliders. Both of them have missed a lot of time due to injuries. Peterson basically missed 3 straight years due to both COVID and injuries. Justice was out all of last season. And both of them are healthy this year. They primarily just go 1 inning. Occasionally, they'll go a little bit more than 1 inning. So I don't know if they really are ready for what Bud Black and the Rockies need for them in the major leagues. And you want them to get more of a taste of AAA, more of a taste of these hitters and things like that, because they've only been with us since the start of the second half. But from a talent standpoint, it's hard not to get excited about these guys because of the velocity. I think both of them occasionally have command issues, which is pretty natural for anyone who's young, especially people who are coming off injuries, is that just takes time. But their stuff is legit, and they're just really fun to watch. And again, it's a left-hander, Evan Justice, right-hander, Michael Peterson. Those are definitely 2 names to remember.
All right, we will keep those in mind. One last question. When do you predict Charlie Blackmon will finally get an Albuquerque rehab assignment in?
See, I was going to ask you the question because you're going to know this a whole lot more than me. So you tell me, Suzie. I want to know both when Charlie Blackmon is going to wear an Isotopes uniform, and I want to know when Sean Bouchard is going to start wearing an Isotopes uniform. Can you please tell me?
Right, because Sean Bouchard is up in Spokane right now.
Yes, exactly. I saw that he homered yesterday, and it got me excited that he might be homering for the Isotopes soon.
I am looking forward to the Cole Tucker Sean Bouchard reunion, but also looking forward to Sean Bouchard making his way back up to the majors with us. I don't know what's going to happen with Charlie Blackmon. I think we were all surprised that his rehab assignment was abruptly canceled. And I know that a lot of people in Albuquerque were very upset about it.
Yeah, so Charlie's been here a few times. When he was an up-and-coming minor leaguer playing for the Colorado Springs Sky Sox before he had a beard. He played at this ballpark. He came to Albuquerque on a winter caravan in 2015, right after the Isotopes and Rockies had connected as affiliates. He was here for the Major League Baseball exhibition game against the Isotopes in 2019. So he's been here 3 times. He wore an Isotopes uniform in Omaha, or the Omaha suburbs, but he has not played a game in Albuquerque wearing an Isotopes uniform. Hopefully he heals fine, and this is just a very minor blip on the radar for him, and that he can play somewhere. You know, I'm hoping you would tell me, because you have a lot more access to the people who know this information than I do, Suzie.
Listen, no, we do have that access, but also we just don't have all the details on what exactly the setback looks like and how precautionary all of this was. But I hope you guys get to see him soon, you know, for your sake, for our sake. But Josh, thank you so much for coming on, chatting. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, always a pleasure as well, Suzie. Thank you.
It is always a pleasure, isn't it? You know what else is always a pleasure? Using Bet365. Bet365 has pioneered live in-game betting, and today Bet365 offers the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting. And listen, you don't want to miss out, because there are 80 million other people using Bet365 across the globe. And they are a proud partner of the Colorado Rockies, too. So here's the deal. You can get an even better price on chosen markets for select games with Bet365 Boosts or Bet365 Super Boosts. But yeah, with MLB, betting with Bet365 is even better, because they have the Bet365 Baseball Early Payout offer. So you are a winner if your team goes 5 runs ahead with an instant payout. Parlay and same-game parlay selections will be marked as winners. So download the app, use code DNVR365 when you sign up. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER, but keep an eye out on the DNVR Rockies Twitter account because we will have a fun Bet365 in-game bet just for you. We will pick it out as we go. It'll be a good time. But again, if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, text or call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. Let's talk about some baseball headlines because a few things have been going on this week. The biggest story probably, Domingo Germán of the New York Yankees is out for the rest of the season. And apparently there's some kind of alcohol issue and it was a scene in the Yankees clubhouse. So some incident happened in the Yankees clubhouse. Lindsay Adler she's of the Wall Street Journal now. She's moving on up. Lindsay Adler put out a story and these are some of the events that happened in this incident that happened on Tuesday. Apparently he flipped a couch, he smashed a TV, made jokes as one of his teammates was packing his bags for AAA. And apparently it was a lot. Like they had him in the nap room, they had him in the sauna to try to sweat out the alcohol, but it sounds like a very, very disturbing and upsetting scene. Obviously you hope everyone involved gets the help that they need. But of course, just a few weeks ago, he threw that perfect game. He does have a history of domestic violence. It's a tough scene. It's a really tough scene. Wishing everyone involved the best. All right. What else do we have going on here? Shohei Ohtani to the Blue Jays? ? Maybe. I don't know. Drake is a fan, though. Drake was seen walking around with a Shohei Ohtani All-Star jersey. Looks good, though. By the way, last night the Mariners intentionally walked Shohei Ohtani, but then he stole second and scored on a single to tie it up. So you just literally can't stop this guy. And when you've got Drake on your side, I don't know. I think that's good vibes. But we know he rides or dies. He's a ride or die? He's a ride or die for Toronto-based sports teams. So who knows? I wonder if Shohei Ohtani even knows who Drake is. He seems like someone who's just very in his own world. Yeah. Speaking of the Blue Jays, is this the Blue Jays podcast? Davis Schneider recently called up to the Blue Jays. Home run in his first career at bat. These are always my favorite stories. Why not start your MLB career off with a literal bang? Someone who's not, this is a terrible transition. Someone who's not banging right now. Listen, I don't know your life, Trey Turner. Trey Turner, though, is struggling for the Phillies. And it is, it's unexpected because he was so good in the World Baseball Classic. He's been so good, just previously. He's a very talented player. But, this season has just not been his season. And, of course, when he's interviewed by the press, he takes full credit for what's going on. But, of course, Nick Castellanos just always has something interesting to say. He was speaking to The Athletic, Matt Gelb of The Athletic. Castellanos apparently said, quote, you can't. It's a real thing dealing with that. This is in terms of the stress that comes with this high-profile contract situation he is in right now. Quote, this year of baseball is probably so different for him. He had his head to the floor trying to make a dream happen, working his ass off in high school. Boom, I'm playing in college. I have to be the best college player. Oh, I'm in pro ball. I want to get to the big leagues. I get to the big leagues. Now I have to stay in the bigs. All right, now I'm here. Now I have to secure my family. Then you get that. All of a sudden, you're handed the responsibility of being a captain of a franchise that already has superstar players. When you get handed the bag that he's been handed, that comes with a lot of responsibility, whether it's from your life standpoint with family. That's not just a small raise. You know what I'm saying? It sucks that salaries in sports are made public. They shouldn't. They're made public, and we are more looked at like objects. Trey deserves what he got because of what he's accomplished. And now because It's everyone's effing business. The expectations are that much greater. He's making this, and he should do this. It's frustrating. So Nick Castellanos did not hold back. He never holds back. That man has never held back in his whole life. Why would he start now? But I love this perspective. I love this perspective because we know how much the pressure gets to guys on every team. So for him to just say the quiet part out loud, I appreciated that.
I love that it's kind of becoming like the norm to just be like, guys, like, it's hard out here for us. Like, It is not, like, we do make a lot of money, like, but we are putting our mind, body, and soul into this for people. And some people just, like, don't. Yeah. I can see why it's frustrating.
Exactly.
Sure.
And, I think this also really ties into how much more we are talking about mental health, because these events, these contracts, this scrutiny, all this attention, this all affects your mental health. So I love that the boys are talking about mental health. We're having open and honest conversations. Also, speaking of the Phillies, Cole Hamels, the last active member of the 2008 World Series champion team, finally retired. He was kind of trying to do something this season. I was a little surprised. I just assumed he had already kind of stopped playing, but he was still going for it as recently as this season. But he has finally decided to hang it up. But now all members of the 2008 Phillies have retired, and it's 2023. So crazy. Crazy.
What's like the oldest, like, typical baseball player?
Well, like Rich Hill's floating around right now, and he just got traded to the Padres, but he's like 42.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
for like hockey, it's always kind of like on the younger side, unless you're a goalie, in which case you're hitting your prime in your 30s.
Interesting. Very interesting. I think Patrick and I hit our prime with this, like, another weird ass segment that Patrick put together. But we had a little fun. We wanted to revisit some of the events that have happened this past season, because usually we kind of do this once a month, and we kind of haven't. So we have a nice little trip down memory lane. But Tiff, are we ready to roll that? All right. Here we're gonna toss it to Patrick, who has some weird, nerdy intro in there.
So true, Susie. So true. All right, let's recap what has happened earlier in this year.
What is happening?
I'll tell you ahead of time. All of these things happened in 2023. But
the year of our Lord, 2023.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though you're gonna go, a couple of them you're gonna think it happened in like 2021. Some you might even think 2019, because in a season where you play 162 games, it just gets crazy. So I'm just gonna throw an event or a moment out at you, and you just got to tell me what month you think that happened in.
Ooh, okay. Do I get bonus points if for some reason I know the exact date?
Oh, so many bonus points.
Okay, great. As you can see, no laptop, the phone is face down. I'm not cheating.
You've never cheated, though, for anyone that...
I have never cheated.
You
no,
haven't.
I've never. I would never.
Worst loss in Rockies history, 25-1. I'm not going to tell you the team.
But I know exactly where I was. I know exactly the date because I know where I was, because it's my best friend's wedding anniversary, too. That was June 24th.
Oh, my God.
Against the Angels.
That's the exact date.
Because I was at my best friend's wedding.
Also, didn't share this document with you.
No, I did not see it. But also, like, you picked a thing that happened on a momentous day for me.
Don't downplay it. You got it, all right?
I know, I'm a genius. Points. I'm incredible. All right, we've already peaked. Yeah, that was a...
You don't have to get another one right for the rest of it. That was like 6 weeks ago. It's like 6 weeks is a lot and a little, but man.
But it was a big day for me. It was the highs and the lows. Watched my best friend get married, looked at my phone, saw that the Rockies had given up 25 runs.
Wow. And Shohei Ohtani barely had anything to do with it. He was there. That was about it. That might be the wildest part of it. Right.
But no, the wildest part of it is that the Angels still lost the series.
Yes.
That will always be hilarious to me.
Yeah.
All right, bring me the next one.
This one's kind of hard because it's random-ish. Jerkson Profar had himself a really nice on-base streak of 37 consecutive games. When did that come to an end? 341 on-base percentage at this point. Hasn't really been the same since, but even still.
I'm going to guess May.
It's going to be May. Yes, May 30th was when it ended.
Oh my gosh.
But he was, because it took him a while to obviously get started because he showed up at the end of game 3. He missed the entire month of March.
Missed all of spring training.
He's not going to be in the documentary because 2 days in March. I don't think we've referenced that in ages. But
ages. It's been forever.
He missed that, and so he didn't really have the spring training. Finally got going. All right. Nolan Jones blasts a walk-off home run in the driving rain. We thought we were going to get extra innings. We didn't. He saved us from that. I know it's hard because not too long ago, we did just have the Padres series wrap up home, but it was the previous one. What month was that?
Hold on. Let me think. It was the Padres series, and that would have been...
It's like a Slumdog Millionaire situation. I remember I had carnitas all 3 games for the Padres.
Because we had a Rockies takeover that series, too.
Oh.
But what month was that?
Did we?
And it was when we had the smaller party bus, and we were sitting in section 108.
Good vibes for that.
And the game, either after... I think it might have been the game after that... There was a guy that Nolan Jones tried to throw a ball to a kid, and this other guy tried to jump over and catch the ball instead of the kid, and then he fell onto the ledge that's in front of that section. But, like, I didn't even know there was a ledge there. Nolan Jones didn't even know there was a ledge there. So I asked him the next day, I was like, oh my gosh, like, did you think you were about to see a man die? And he goes, yes. So I know it was that series.
I don't know that story. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
The story within the story.
Story within the story.
I'm going to need an answer. What month was that?
Oh my gosh, this is killing me. I guess it was May.
June 11th.
Oh my gosh, no, I hate that I guessed. Oh, no.
June 11th on that bad boy. We actually had back-to-back rain delays because that was the final game of that series. And then the first game of the Padres series earlier this week, we had the 2 hour and 20-minute rain delay. And then we almost had, the tarp was out on Tuesday. We almost had 3 consecutive Padres versus Rockies games in Denver rain delay. Instead, it was only 2. Herman Marquez, not a good one, goes on the 60-day IL as he's set to get Tommy John. April 28th, nailed it. Jose,
I was there. I saw it with my own eyes.
Of course.
I saw it with my...
You were there for most of these.
That was the one of the worst baseball days ever. That was just so sad.
And you were not... Yeah, you were there for that, not the surgery. They don't do that anymore.
I was there. No, they let me participate in the surgery. You can do anything if you walk into a room with confidence.
And a box of Junior Mints. Hopefully you did not bring the Junior Mints into that surgery room. If you know, you know.
I don't get that reference.
Jose Urania. Remember? Again,
Jose Urania.
You're going to say... I know you're saying that was 2022.
It was April.
But hold on. Jose Urania in his 9.82 ERA is released.
April.
27th. Correct.
Yes.
All right. Nice.
Yep.
This one's...
Am I like so good at this game?
I had no doubt. I told you you're going to be good. Jake Bird catches the eye of Bryce Harper. Now that feels like a season ago, yeah? At least a half a season ago.
You know what? That moment lives in my heart forever. That was May.
May 14th.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you when CJ Cron hit 2 home runs in a game against San Diego. Okay, I will. When did he do that? What month?
So it would have been June. No. Oh my gosh, that was opening weekend. Stop. It was March.
Opening day, March. See, that's where it's a tricky one. You go
Okay.
opening day, obviously April. No. They played 2 days in March.
2 days in March, the documentary starring CJ Cron.
Hence
Christopher
the
Jonathan Cronathan.
21-year-old Ezekiel Tovar becomes a proud father. What month was that?
Was it June or July? It was June.
Because we are in August now, I think. Unless you're seeing this in September.
Wait, what is today? It's August 2nd. Okay, I think he became a... I'm saying today.
Oh, you just totally...
Calm down. I'm going to
Pre-tape.
say that... was that June?
You would be right.
Oh
you
my
got
gosh,
it.
okay.
June 19th. Connor Kaiser gets added to the 40-man roster, plays 2 games, Cincinnati. Then he was DFA'd 13 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Senzatella goes off the IL, then goes back on the IL, unfortunately.
That was May.
Was May. He went on the 60-day in June, but that's so when that happens. Riley Pint makes his long-awaited and much-deserved Major League debut.
Was that May too?
May 17th.
May 17th. Okay.
And this is on the side here, and there's points at stake here, so careful what your answer is here. I was looking at a photograph of Riley Pint, and maybe from a certain angle, he looks a lot like Joey Votto.
All right. I can see it. I can kind of see it. They got like a similar shaped face.
Yes, it's from the front. It can look a little long, but some angles has that round. Joey Votto has like a perfectly his head was measured when they invented the game of basketball. They needed the perfect roundness, and I feel like they used his head. He's got a good round head. It's a great round head.
Great round head.
No disparaging here.
This went to a weird place, but yeah, Joey Votto is a great round head.
And last.
I hate this.
You're doing great at this.
Oh, no. The game I'm loving. You've one last one?
I do have one last one. I was going to go like more historical, and the Rockies play the first ever game in franchise history. I know you know it's 1993. But from this year, we've got Connor Van Scoyoc gets traded to the Rockies, walks across the diamond in Spokane in a Vista Stadium, and says, "Hey, hi, I'm your new teammate." What month did that happen? The first of the 6 Rockies prospects acquired at the recently passed MLB trade deadline. What month?
I'm going to say that was July.
June 25th.
Oh.
Rockies were active quick. That's where it becomes tricky. You say, Mike Moustakas wasn't traded at the deadline, but that was a trade clearly made of like, we're going to be subtracting at this deadline. Mm-hmm. We're not going to be. We're not going to fool ourselves. We might as well trade while his stock is high, and the Angels are going to pay a mighty fine price for a guy of that caliber. So you can say 6 trades this summer, maybe 5 closer to the actual deadline. But Connor Van Scoyoc got traded June 25th. So Suzie, not that there was any doubt for anybody, but
I was out of town that weekend, so
you did. That's right. I was also. The Angels week. Yeah, Moustakas.
Too much happened that weekend.
Moose changed clubhouses, so did Connor Van Scoyoc. And he changed clubhouses again because now he's pitching in AA with the Hartford Yard Goats. So
love the Yard Goats.
Well done, Suzie, as if I had any doubt. In fact, I've got all the confidence in the world about this next thing right here. In fact, here it is.
I literally cannot handle that man. I cannot.
It's pretty ridiculous.
But that's okay. I can block out all the haters with my Shady Rays. Take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that is just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames, clear optics, great for outdoor adventures. Honestly, great for brunch too. And that's not all. Shady Rays has the most insane protection program in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed with their lost and broken replacements. So if you break your pair, even day one, if you lose your pair day one, who would do such a thing? Don't even worry about it there. They're going to replace it. No questions asked. It's incredible. Brand new pair. So you can purchase with confidence because they will have your back long after you close out that shopping cart online. So yeah, you can check out their whole collection online, or you can check it out in person at the Park Meadows Mall. They've got it's the full stop for all things Shady Rays. And if you don't love your Shady Rays, you're fine. You can exchange or return them for free within 30 days. So there's absolutely no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. So here is the deal exclusive for our listeners. Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code DNVR. You are going to get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. So try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by more than 250,000 people. That's right, our friends at Shady Rays. You know who else are our good friends? Our friends at Kind Love. Whoo! Have you guys heard of the Turbo Joint? Because the Turbo Joint be turboing. Kind Love is one of the first dispensaries in Colorado. They've been around since 2010, so they are known for cultivating some of the highest quality cannabis in the state. Fully integrated seed to sale. That's basically the farm to table of weed. We love that. So they're breeding their own genetics. They have controlled grow process. Everything is sustainable, and the game-changing product of theirs, the Turbo Core, it is a 100-milligram stick. It's a cannabis concentrate, a full-spectrum cannabis concentrate. It looks like a toothpick. It's the size of a toothpick, and it's got a little pointed end, so you can put it into a joint that you've already rolled. You can put it into a blunt. You can put it into you can put it in anything, I guess. You can put it in a cigarette if you wanted to. That sounds wild, though.
I definitely tried the turbo joint for Barbie. It's wonderful.
Oh,
Had a great time.
What did you think of Barbie? I didn't know that you've seen it. I'm happy that we have this update.
I love Barbie.
Good.
It was wonderful. It was so great. And it was even better with a turbo joint.
That's amazing. I will say the turbo joint Kind Love gave us like this amazing care package. So I had some turbo joints on hand, and I shared it with someone that I knew, and they were like, "Yeah, like this is not a joke. This is great." But yeah, so the
turbo joint don't people understand?
They mean what they say when they say it. But yeah, the Turbo Core, of course, they have a pre-roll line, the turbo joint, using that same exact technology. But here's the deal. Here is the deal. You can visit one of their stores. They have one in North Denver, and they have one in Cherry Creek that's kind of near the Target, kind of near Shotgun Willie's. Why do I always bring up Shotgun Willie's when I do this ad read? But it's near the PetSmart in that shopping center. That's where the Cherry Creek one is. But if you go in and if you mention DNVR, you are getting 25% off all Kind Love flower, pre-rolls, and the Turbo Joint line. So head to their website, kindlove.com. You can use that code for online ordering, or you can use it in the store, but check out their full menu there. Listen, it's the weekend. It's the weekend. It's time to stock up at Kind Love right now. Let's talk about the trade deadline. Obviously, this is a big topic this week because these were some pretty important moves that were made, some moves that, a lot of people think needed to be made, and especially because the Rockies did not do much the past couple of years in terms of the trade deadline. But the big theme here, is that this is opening doors for young talent. So here is what Rockies general manager Bill Schmidt had to say on his takeaway from trade deadline activities. Tiffany, are we ready for that? All right, here is Bill Schmidt.
As we looked at opportunities to, like I said, play some of our young guys, give the other guys opportunity, try to put them all in the good spots, which I think we did for the most part. I think we put everybody in a good spot for their career, where they're at the same time trying to get talent for us. And really the focus was added pitching, because we think we do have some good position players, and just, we saw what happened a couple of weeks ago with some injuries, right? So it's purely about numbers here and trying to get better, and that was the focus.
Oh, God damn it. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, hello. And so Buddy also echoed that same sentiment. And this is what Rockies manager Bud Black had to say about those trade deadline moves.
Well, yeah, I think that's a good thing, right? They should be here for a couple months, right? Based on performance, we hope that they do enough to stay here. But again, we'll have Charlie coming back at some point. Bryant will be coming back at some point. But in the near term, you're correct. Those guys will be playing. And it is exciting, right? To see what these guys can do, because they'll, as you know, they'll be the first to tell you, give me a chance, give me an opportunity. I think I should be in the big leagues. I think I'm a big league player. So now, let's hope they do it.
Buddy's just always so funny. Also, I want to, before we go to the next clip, I do want to address some of the comments. Will Carpenter just mentioned, it appears to be pouring rain in St. Louis. St. Louis is terrible weather this time of year. It is so humid. It's so hot. And it just rains all the damn time. So we'll see if this game should really be starting in about 15 minutes.
Rain delays here, rain delays in St. Louis.
I was going to say, do you see that there's a rain delay yet? Because I don't see officially that there is a rain delay right now.
But that's been the track for the last week or so.
Girl, this is ruining my Friday night right now. I have plans.
Got shit to do.
I have plans. Rockies have plans too. The Rockies plan heading into this trade deadline, pitching That's the majority of what they did. But Patrick Saunders of the Denver Post asked Rockies GM Bill Schmidt what their philosophy was heading into this trade deadline. And of course, it's all about pitchers, but here is what he had to say.
As we looked at opportunities to, like I said, play some of our young guys, give the other guys opportunity, try to put them all in the good spots, which I think we did for the most part. I think we put everybody in a good spot for their career, where they're at the same time trying to get talent for us. And really the focus was adding pitching, because we think we do have some good position players. And just, we saw what happened a couple of weeks ago with some injuries, right? So it's purely about numbers here and trying to get better, and that was the focus.
All right. Yeah. Well, you know what? We fished our wish. We got pitchers. One of them's got to pan out. Because Lord knows we've had so many pitcher injuries this season alone. But listen, if you're injured, if you are injured at work, if you are injured in an accident, if you're injured in any kind of scenario where it's not your fault, that is what Backus and Schenker is here for. When you get hurt, Backus and Schenker is here to help, and they are winning for Colorado families. They're helping those who are seriously injured in Colorado for more than 25 years. The best thing, they are not going to charge you a dime unless you get money. So no fee while they're working on it, no fee to talk to someone about your case, no fee while they are actually working on the case, no fee unless they are winning money. And they've done it a lot to the tune of more than $1 billion. That's billion with a B for their clients here in Colorado. And you can talk to them in person in every corner of the state. They've got neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, Fort Collins, and they have the strength and power to win your case. More than 30 lawyers, more than 100 staff. They are on it. So Backus and Schenker helps with all kinds of injury cases where you were not at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle rideshare, pedestrians, trucks, even if you're injured at work. So call them at 222-2222. That is all twos, the easiest phone number in Colorado to remember. Call them up right now to find out if you have a case for free, because Backus and Schenker wins. Backus and Schenker. There we go. All right. We're going to check in real fast with a couple of our old friends who were with this team maybe just days ago, maybe weeks ago. The Braves, the Atlanta Braves, who have so many of our dudes. What was the score? It was 7-0 in the fourth. They just Cubs got murdered by the Braves today. Braves are the first team to get to 70 wins right now. So there is a chance that some guys who started this season with the Rockies, are going to be World Series contenders. They're the first team to get to 70 wins. So many wins. So many. CJ Cronin, an RBI single Thursday night. Let's talk about Tapia, a trade from the past. Tapia is in the Rays organization. He just signed a minor league deal with them. All right, let's preview this series in St. Louis. Is it starting? Is it not starting? Who is to say? But let's talk about tonight's starter, Chris Flexen. Chris Flexen has made one start for the Colorado Rockies so far. It did not go as well as his start in Albuquerque went. But he's allowed 11 runs, 10 of those earned, on 12 hits with 7 walks, 1 hit batter, 6 strikeouts. So not exactly a great beginning for Chris Flexen here, but he'll be facing... Ooh, they're getting ready downstairs for stuff. If that was picked up on the mic. But Adam Wainwright will be taking the mound. Probably the last time the Rockies will ever face Adam Wainwright. So that'll be interesting. Saturday night, Ty Blach versus Steven Matz. Ty Blach had a great start the other day for Colorado. So let's hope he can keep it up at a little closer to sea level. And then Sunday, it is Austin Gomber Day. He is 8-8 in terms of pitcher wins, a 5.68 ERA. So he's had his ups, he's had his downs. He's had more ups recently than downs. He will be up against Miles Michaelis, who is 6-7 this season. There is a lot. I I really don't know if like what's happening downstairs is being picked up because it sounds awful to me. They're doing Buffs Live down there. We've got a whole thing going on. The boys are going to be doing a live show down there in just a couple of minutes. Oh, they're getting started. Oh, this is going to be fun.
This will be fun.
Good thing we're wrapping up the show because this is really disruptive for me.
Yeah.
For me.
For me personally, this is a problem.
This is a huge problem for me. And it's about me.
If you are around the DNVR location and you feel like meeting Jake and RK, please come on down. They'll be doing a live podcast, and Uncle Neely is here from the Buffs pregame show, so it'll be a vibe.
Okay, yeah, there are people here. If you're a Buffs fan, like, what are you doing? Get here now. Why are you not here already? There are people here. This is such a good turnout. We got some tables, though. Don't worry. This will be fun, though. People are always trying to meet RK. I feel like he's the one person at this company that people are like, I want to meet him. And like people will show up at the bar looking for him. And they'll be like, he's not here.
Yeah, it'll be heartbreaking.
Unfortunately, he doesn't live here. He's just here a lot.
He practically lives here. If you asked him, he probably would say he lives here.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for the rest of the DNVR live show Fridays that are coming up throughout the rest of the month, I want to say.
I was going to say, are they every week?
I think so. I think they're every week for the next couple of weeks. I think it's
so cool.
Broncos, and then Avs, and then Nuggets, I think.
That's so cool. So freaking cool. Hold on. Oh, I see Will in the comments. Oh, no, that's the same comment. Why did it look like it was new? I was like, oh, do we have an update? That's pretty funny. But no, yeah, we've got really fun stuff happening at the bar all weekend. And then post-game show on Sunday is going to hit around 3:30. Christian Saez is co-hosting. Patrick will have the day off because I believe it is his wife's birthday. I know. How sweet. So, yeah, he definitely needs to take that day because wives' birthdays are very important. He's a wife guy. Listen, it's the start of a 10-day road trip, so make sure you are staying with us. You can follow me at the Suzie Hunter on all platforms. Tiff, where can we find you?
I am at Tiffany, TIFFANI _ Tano, TANO.
Perfect.
On all platforms.
Perfect. And make sure you are following, again, all the latest Rockies news, everything that's going on that field this weekend. You can find it at DNVR _ Rockies. And Tiff, you know what we like to say about closing out this silly little baseball show?
What do we like to say, Suze?
Oh, girl, I have no idea how to close out a show. I'll just say see you later. We will talk to you on Sunday at 3:30.